Hello everyone, welcome back. We're gearing up for our next game, which is FlyQuest facing 100 Thieves. We're going to turn to the starting roster. Selecting the blue side is FlyQuest's new look. Viper in the top lane, Santorin in the jungle, Pobelter in mid, Wild Turtle in bot lane, alongside their new support Wadid with coaches Invert and Cop.
And loading up to the Rift on the red side, it is 100 Thieves. Fresh off their 2-game win streak. In the top, it's Fake God, jungle amazing, mid Ryu, bottom Bang, support Afromu and Coach Prawley, and Joseph Jang on stage.
Gonna be an exciting one. So while we are definitely excited to see 100 Thieves when they picked up their first win last week, that was pretty sweet. No one expected this roster would then transition into a second win in a row, beating Cloud9 of all opponents. That was impressive.
Yeah, this is an outstanding resurgence for 100 Thieves. They should be extremely happy with the new look that the team is getting. And they look like they were doing it very confidently. They made leads, they transitioned those leads effectively into mid-game team fights. Ryu himself back on the roster, and he's showing to be a very stabilizing force for the team, much like his arm right now for his head as he rests and prepares for the game. Meanwhile, it's having a very positive impact on Bang, I feel like. He was playing with so much confidence now, looking way, way more aggressive than we've seen all year long from him.
Yeah, I like that. He's laughing with Afromu. He's having a good time. Of course, 100 Thieves are hoping to keep that win streak going, improve it to 3. They are facing FlyQuest, who, actually, someone like 100 Thieves have been struggling so far this split. But in spring, FlyQuest were so good. In summer, it's not been the same.
Yep, they are actually on a 4-game loss streak right now. I know it's weighing very heavily on the players, as they've all been kind of vocal about how disappointed they are because they expect so many wins for themselves. Wadid especially, though, I have to say, subbing in, he looked very good, in their game yesterday. Even though they lost, he had a good roam mid. He, did not make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
I have to say, Pobelter probably had his roughest game of the year so far. He was dealing with the CLG lane swap where they had Ruin on the Renekton come mid lane with the counter pick, and he got focused quite a lot. We'll see if he can bounce back in this game, because already they're throwing some bans out. Aurelia and Akali off the table on the side of FlyQuest. Karma, after the buffs in 9-12, going to be taken off the table as well.
Well, so far, Yuumi is being left up, and we know Lux is available here as well. Could be a trade of supports. We'll see what actually comes through into this one, as it is going to be the Yuumi ban. We were burned by not seeing Lux at all in the last game, but I still think it's a strong one. Sejuani, though, is the queen of the patch right now. I think almost every single team will be willing to first pick this one in 9.12.
I feel like there's a lot of queens in League of Legends right now. Bottom lane queens, there's like 3 of them.
Sivir.
Yeah, I mean, you got Sivir, then you got a bunch of the support.
Yeah, you got Karma and Yuumi, basically, yeah.
Zion Rakan, the lovers duo locked in for Bang and Afromu. We'll see if they can get some action going early. The attack speed, level 1 from that duo is always super threatening. That's what people always have to keep their eyes out for.
Yep.
FlyQuest on the side of Turtle and Wadid. This is going to be Wadid's second LCS game with the squad, and already they're locking in Sivir.
Sivir Lux would be my go-to, but we'll see what actually comes through into this one. Afro, whenever he gets the chance, does play Rakan. His 4th game, half of all his LCS games this split have been a Rakan, 1 each on 4 other champions. Has been an engaged tool. And yeah, as we were talking about before, you were mentioning that Bang's playing with more confidence. He is by far the KDA leader of the team. The bot lane has like an aggregate 80% participation. They are doing a lot of work right here. Tom Kench going to come through to keep the back line safe against the Rakan engages.
And Wadid has played a lot of games on Tom Kench. When he was in Europe, it was one of the primary champions for him. So this is definitely going to be a comfort pick as well. We saw it used fairly effectively in the last game. Sivir with Spell Shield and Tom Kench should be very safe.
And so the team's match rolls right now. Junglers and bot laners have been grabbed. FlyQuest got first dibs on jungle. 100 Thieves got first dibs on bot lane. And they matched with kind of expectations here for the most part.
Surprise! Sejuani and Trundle again, freak.
Weird. Well, they're spending the bans on Sona. Not every league cares about Sona. You were talking about how North America plays a lot of Rumble. We might see it in this game. Sona has a global, like, 50% presence in pro play. A lot of teams do not care about this champion on either side. NA still does very, very heavily, and that's just kind of our flavor to it. Poppy dropped off the table here against Fake God, and Azir dropped away from Pobelter.
Taking away some of the possible frontline tanks from topside. Interesting, because Viper usually likes to run carries, and they don't want one of those carries to be stuffed by a Poppy. You know, it generally does.
Speaking of, there's the Riven ban.
Definitely going to take out Viper,
Wow.
iconic Riven player. That's their one win of the split, by the way, is Viper's Riven.
The Jax ban is some research, I gotta say, because I haven't seen him play it so far this year. Anyone on the team has, and well, top lane Jax is apparently what would counterpick what Viper wants to play. So 100 Thieves maybe grab a mid laner first, and then we see what Viper blinds.
And generally, Jax is about the scaling and, you know, not about like crushing your lane. So maybe they are worried about something that is going to outscale them. They do have Sivir on their team with a substantial front line already. And with that type of front line, I would probably already be looking for FlyQuest to field something offensive for Viper. Camille is definitely an offensive look.
Yeah.
Definitely a top laner now
Yes.
for me. It is still used infrequently in the jungle. I think there's very rare cases where you need to snowball early, but top lane, I think she's still a powerhouse. I honestly think it's an underused top lane champion right now. You get your Tiamat early, try and get wave clear, and then you go around roaming for ganks, much like an old jungler would. Except that you have top lane farm with experience and top lane money.
Yeah.
And then you get your Trinity Force after that, and you get to have the same old incredibly powerful 1v1 situations and a lot of mobility on the champion.
So Kennen is going to be the answer right here, and about 80% of the time it is AP Kennen that we see in pro play. Maybe you go for a Gunblade to sustain your 1v1, but it's almost always actually the ability power build. Some people will go on hit, but it's the rarity nowadays. So Kennen into Camille in the top lane. Victor for Ryu is blinded in the mid lane. Pawelter answers that with a Zoe here, hoping to redeem himself from yesterday's game where it was a very, very weak Aurelia performance. Was counter-picked, but I think had some bad choices in the mid game. Now he's got his matchup of choice and has a very, very strong early jungler to back him up. This could be a pretty good field day for Pawelter. Engage tools, not too bad actually on the Thieves side. Rakan's pretty solid. Kennen flanks can be very reliable here as well. FlyQuest, Sejuani and Camille not bad either.
Yeah, definitely true. I mean, both of them have ganking options. Sejuani plus Camille is insane threat. Meanwhile, Trundle is actually an effective ganker with Victor, because while a Victor by himself is not very good at landing CC and a Trundle by himself is not very good, if you combine them, Pillar plus the gravity field does usually burn a flash by themselves. So, and those are very low cooldown abilities. So it can be, you know, kind of surprisingly good combination.
Definitely agree. We'll see if that does come through and if they can start picking apart Zoe in the mid lane, who does not have natural escapes. Two teams near the bottom of the standings. A 2-game winning streak, though, for 100 Thieves. They put Ryu back in the lineup and subbed out Someday as a result, and it's been working for them. 2-5, hoping to climb up as FlyQuest hope to right the ship with Wadid now starting this week. Did look good yesterday, but could not find the win, hoping that today is the day it turns around. It's going to be a 1-week break for these teams regardless, as they sit from home and watch Rift Rivals. Stewing on a loss would not be fun.
And FlyQuest were one of the teams just outside of making it into Rift Rivals, just outside of qualifying that. You know, in spring, playoff team, strong performance from them. A lot of people had super high hopes, and I know they did themselves. So they're still looking to climb back up the standings. With so many teams so close, it's very much viable for any team in the entire league to make playoffs right now if you make a run.
Yeah, 6th place is something like 4-3 right now. This is certainly doable and well within reach the next couple of weeks. 50% often ends up being enough. Pawelter does not find the poke onto Ryu.
Had the angle, not the range, though. Looks like it's going to be a topside start for both junglers, by the way. Santorin on the Sejuani has gone with the Talisman, so I expect clearing most of the AoE camps down on the bottom side. After starting blue, he'll transition. And we might even see some bottom lane focus there. Generally, a Camille-Kennen matchup, Camille actually is very powerful in short trades. Camille's so good because of the passive shield that pops up and the burst damage you can get with your Qs. She would like very short trades, whereas Kennen, any sort of extended interaction is going to be in the favor of Kennen. Gets to abuse the range matchup, gets to kite around through the brush, dropping minion aggro, throwing out constant harassment. So you can see in the early levels especially, that is going to mean that Viper tries to avoid as much damage as possible and as much interaction as possible while just sneaking minions.
No, it is going to be a Conqueror Camille here. We do see Comet sometimes for the just W trading to make the middle of the lane a little bit easier, but he's going for the more...
All in.
Yeah, all in actually kill someone sort of build. We see the bot lane trading back and forth. Level 2 now for both these sides, but it is FlyQuest with the push. And the Thieves walking back here. Bang, though, has yet to drop any CS, and that's going to feel pretty nice. It always feels good when you get 12 out of 12. You just feel confident going into the laning phase. You have 10.
Well, he's definitely been confident, you know, in the last week or so, even 2 weeks. And it's showing up on stage. Bang playing a lot more aggressively than usual. We'll see if it holds true on the Xayah right now. Again, as we mentioned, both junglers starting top side. So they're transitioning down bottom, and Amazing's first to the party on the ward. Didn't quite finish it.
Yeah, swept one, couldn't quite sweep the second, but now look at this damage. Top lane
All
Viper
in.
wants to take down Fake God. He's able to walk away with the lightning surge, but oh my, that is pain.
Yeah, that's what you mentioned with the all-in for Conqueror Freak. He's able to proc it. Viper hits the stun, destroys the trade there. And even though Fake God lives, that low HP starting a Doran's Blade means that he is going to have a much rougher time in this lane. And it helps out Viper a lot. Let's see if Santorin makes a pass on the top side of the map now, because getting a Camille ahead early would be huge.
Nice little poke right there, but it takes Church off for it, so maybe the Q not quite worth as Pavulter walks back away. Don't believe he spotted the Trundle W, but may have. And yeah, that's going to be the question mark thing. So actually, they do know where Trundle is. They're like, okay, Amazing's up on chickens.
This is going to be a double scuttle for Santorin, though. He got both of them. Pope Belter walking into the brush, lands the slow, uses the exhaust that he picked up with the Spell Thief, so no big cost to him. And that's what we're looking for.
Attempt in the top side, though, forcing Fake God's
flash
to dodge the W. Can't get the knock up, but one more Automines is stunned. There it is, and they will nake him down. Fake God is gone. A solo kill, sorry, duo kill, first blood in the top lane. My brain not working too good.
You're a true top laner. Solo killed. Got him.
Jungler. What a jungle.
I like how, too, you could see Santorin pause there with the Sejuani. He was going to give the last auto over to Viper, but then he was like, you're taking too long. Turns around and finishes it off. Let's take another look at it. Viper doesn't get the stun because Fake God uses the extra speed there, but Santorin has the inside route, so it doesn't matter. He's able to corner him against the wall. They get the stun, and then Viper actually did get into range to finish it off there. But I know that feeling as a jungler.
You don't risk
you
it.
Get a little bit too antsy. I mean, there's no risk, literally, because he just used E and he just used Flash. So
have you checked his potions? Like, did he have like one of the iron elixirs?
Wait, is there a Soraka on the team?
He can't steal iron elixir. If you don't check items, there are theoretically ways he lives.
I know.
So I'm always okay with it personally. I love the recall dance. Shout out to 2 supports, Afro and Wadid. That was fun. But yeah, and one of the things I actually really liked was when he first came in, he actually gave Viper the chance to stack the first bit of the passive. So the stun came one auto earlier, gave him a little bit more space to kill. So little minor things actually made a difference there. And Sejuani was in range to give the passive over. And it's a 700 gold lead now. FlyQuest off to a very good start. 11 CS lead for Viper, who has both summoners up. Has yet to recall, though, and cash in on the 200 assist goal.
And Viper really has risen as one of these stars for the LCS for FlyQuest. You know, North American player making a big, big impact on the top lane. Playing primarily all of these carries. Showing Camille now, and this is one of those carries that's very scary, as we said. If you get ahead early, the Tiamat Rush, first item, like we talked about in Champ Select, allows you to push that lane, and it just makes the enemy jungler life a living hell, because Camille can come over these jungle walls for any of the camps and absolutely destroy you in your own jungle, or even make looks towards mid lane.
Really minor thing I want to point out that Viper just did. Before they put this control ward down, when he first TP'd in, he pushed the wave, juked into the river to feign that he put a trinket ward down in the tri-brush up there. So there's a chance that Amazing thinks that was put down, that Fake God would communicate that, and it might actually affect the jungle and gank pathing. But speaking of gank pathing, though, Amazing looking at the bottom side.
Yeah, he's looking. I don't think a tower dive is advisable versus Tom Kent Sivir, but makes a pass through, and they catch a little Visionum on the way out. Importantly, I think the biggest part about that pass was this ward that they left behind. Wait a second, Ryu taking some harassment, but right here by your red buff. This is one of the least checked brush in the entire game, which does provide fairly long-lasting vision. And we'll see if that one does pay some dividends. At least it's a good reward for spending that time going for the deep invade.
We got Sejuani back on the top side. Santorin actually looking to steal away this red buff. Has the space for it. Sivir, of course, did spot Trundle as he looped through the bottom lane jungle, and it gives Santorin a bit of space here. Looking to burn this one down. Should do so. Doesn't need the smite, I should say. Grabs it, gets the steal, and a pretty clean dive leave. And yeah, again, Trundle's far enough away that this is a pretty doable dive. Fake God Summonerless does have an ult, but that is it. When do they go in? Burns the E, gets some damage across. Here comes the attempted stun, but look how tanky Sejuani is not going to be perturbed by this turret at all. And a very clean, easy kill in the top lane yet again. Gold toward Viper.
Yeah, they know they can give the kill credit to Viper this time around. Finishes off the kill. 4 members actually on the map roaming for FlyQuest. They are getting out there early and making it count. All right, here's another look at it. As we saw, the double roam from Pobelter and Santorin. With level 6s available, Big God knows he is going down here. There's not a lot he's going to be able to do to outplay that with no support coming from the rest of the team in time. So good move from FlyQuest, capitalizing on this top lane power. And Camille is off to the races. Sheen now to back up those all-ins with Conqueror. So much damage output can come through. Sheen already, you can get it converted to true damage just with the Qs, but Conqueror as well going to come through, and she will chase you down.
500 gold lead individually, just spent the money as well. That's going to feel nice. It is Gunblade AP Kennen as expected here for Fake God, but it is just Kennen is going to be continually down in money. Sweeper comes out, amazing, doesn't find any wards. Just make sure there's no dive coming in, but doesn't feel confident enough to gank. It's still flash and ult up for Viper.
I mean, Camille is absolutely insanely hard to gank for a Trundle. You put up a pillar, Camille jumps off your own pillar and gets away. So as long as Viper doesn't use the hook shot offensively, there's no window where Amazing is able to make a successful gank there. There's no Kennen ultimate to set him up, so no stuns flying around, barring, just charging it up the long way with your auto attacks. And it's just too difficult. So he backs off. Him being off the map, though, Santorin's going to slip right in. They see the bottom lane has recalled. They know they've got bottom lane priority. Turtle uses teleport while Deed is still here. Objective should be theirs.
Plenty of damage under this Mountain Drake. It's going to be a pretty clean pickup, although Amazing coming around does have Flash and Spite. Actually has a chance of going for a steal, but now zoned out by Wadid and does not want to get devoured. So that's a quick pickup there. Nice one, and now looking at a sleep towards Ryu, does cleanse, walk away, but now re-engage towards Wadid, and this time he is isolated. Will go down to Amazing, so a 1 for nothing. 100 Thieves are on the board as Ryu goes back to his turret and Scuttlecrab goes their way as well.
FlyQuest split, a couple of them going after Ryu there, and Wadid left out to dry. Tom Kench taken down, so 100 Thieves striking back here. Gold still very much even. Only the slight advantage, pretty much all for top lane.
Yeah.
With Camille Sejuani being the one getting those kills.
Yeah, half of the gold lead is entirely on Viper right now. The 800, 400 is onto that Camille above this one, but now towards the bottom side, while Turtle puts down the spell shield, getting away from some of the knockers this time. It will knock them both up, though, and Wadid's not going to go very far. Now looking at Wild Turtle yet again, they have the damage. Can they chase down for more? No, he's down to the turret, but damage into Amazing. He's got to be respectful as well. 1 for nothing down here. Now Pavelka looking for the damage. Good hit towards Ryu. Stun, but still walking forward. They might find a bit more. Now trading even more spells back and forth. Good shielding comes in, and Pavelka actually dropped quite low. Finally outranges the Chaos Storm as Ryu will get the better of that trade, but a longer cooldown is burned as now bot lane's under fire. And look at this, big damage and a Fake God will lock him down to the turret. Viper has to hookshot away. Good ult, it does hit minions, it does clear that one away. And now as this turret takes even more shots, yeah, 3 plates were claimed, plus those couple of kills in a row. Big for 100 Thieves.
Yep, 100 Thieves from the bottom side of the map. It's their power point, playing off of Bang and Afro move. Successful move from Amazing. Unfortunately for them, Amazing actually did have to take both of the kills. So kill money not going over to Bang, but he's got the good CS lead for himself and a bunch of those turret plates, as you mentioned.
Yeah, Bang is winning by, it looks like, more than Viper is right now. Even though he didn't get the kill, that lead is meaningful. We know Xayah scales great. So does Sivir, don't get me wrong, but with a lead, these champions are all about multiplying your items together. Now, while Turtle once again isolated, it burns the ulti and says, okay, with spell shield, I'll be fine. Afro has no ult, won't get that one picked up.
All right, Turtle with the extra speed, wants to clear out the extra minions here. Even without any support around, definitely is dangerous and has to give up the cannon at least.
Santorin back to the top side, though. Does know this is a locus of power. Ryu does have flash and get away from things, but Fake up maybe a target.
Yeah, Santorin's looking to use the Rift Trail to give more money over to Viper. Viper had stuck around, you saw in the turret last time around, getting that first turret plate for himself, knowing that he did have hookshot to try and get away, and it was not too dangerous, but they really want to get this Camille rolling with the full Trinity Force to start roaming around the map. Because bottom side is being devastated right now. Bang and Aframu get another turret plate for themselves.
Plate number 4 and Turtle not even allowed to grab the caster minions for gold. As his bot lane is going very quickly in the way of Hunt with Thieves. Bang has been a big force for the squad of late, as now Fake God's on the way out. Has a flash away, still getting stunned. And now a second time, over the wall comes Viper. Stopwatch buys a couple of seconds, but you have to assume they have the damage. Actually even burns his own ultimate. Gets nothing for it. Several big cooldowns are gone, but bot lane has fallen all the same. 1,200 gold, 800 Thieves, all through bottom lane.
Ooh, Bubble barely misses there.
Big hit on a Ryu, but he's gonna stay alive. There is Herald summoned up. This will be all the plates and at least second turret going towards Viper. So still trading these resources back and forth. Solo gold for him. Big lead in the top lane, about 1,900. Similar stuff in the bottom lane though, 400 Thieves.
Yeah, this game is going to be a race. Who can carry harder? Top side for FlyQuest with Viper on this Camille, or bottom side for 100 Thieves with Bang and Aframu trying to carry. In the early stages of the game right now, Viper should be able to have a big advantage if Bang is unprotected. Viper just got the Trinity Force completed after taking that entire turret. Here's a look at Santorin doing 90% of the work on this kill. You know, got the knockup to interrupt Fake God, does most of the damage, holds him in place, tanks the tower. What a nice jungler, completely setting up Viper for some extra money, and that is money well spent. Got the Trinity Force, burst damage. Now he can start roaming around the map, and you can actually see the really good warding from 100 Thieves is important. All of these deep wards through the jungle are going to give them the location of Viper, you know, as they transition him across the map. That's what they need to avoid for the time being.
So Gunblade done for Fake God. Not yet ranked to Ultimate, though. Has a while to go till that one is done. Nice sleep. More damage towards Ryu. Does have the Merc Treads. Makes him tanky enough to withstand that. And the Honey Fruit puts him back to full. Top laners have switched down to the bottom lane. Teleports are up for both of them. This Drake is spawning soon, and instead, this mid lane once again getting attacked. Big hit out of Poe Belter. Stunned, though. The ulti not initially in range, but will find some damage across. He's going to walk away, though, pretty cleanly. It's amazing in Santorin trade looks. Out they go. Nice hit.
All right. Looks like we have another roam from Viper. Trying to keep track of this Camille. That is the playmaker for FlyQuest. Control ward for himself, a little bit of a deep ward here. And 100 Thieves just want to try and contain that problem. Just hold that tower on bottom side and allow Bang and Aframu to continue to get work done.
It's actually really interesting seeing where they sent Bang and Aframu, because with this Drake spawning, they could have theoretically stayed bot lane and said, we want Ocean Drake, then we'll reset. Instead, they sent them top lane earlier on. They're going to give up kind of pressure on this Drake. They want to knock down the top turret instead. That's what they're kind of prioritizing. Like where Bang and Aframu, so goes the focus of 100 Thieves.
Yeah, they want the money onto Bang more than they want the regeneration from Ocean Drake. So it's going to be a trade, right? 100 Thieves overloading topside to make sure Bang can get money out of this turret. As you can see on the mini-map, it is going to be at the cost of this dragon. Sejuani just picks it up right there. And that is going to be FlyQuest with some regeneration and Bang with some extra money.
And one thing to point out, actually, is how the gold is being distributed, because Bang and Afro and even Amazing are often sharing that money coming through. So it's a gold split across the both of them. The individual gold lead of Bang versus Wild Turtle is not as significant as Viper vs Fake God, who was getting solo gold, who's 2,300 gold
Very
up now.
Close.
Now it's under 2K as this comes across. But that's even after another turret goes over, it's not as big of a lead. $400 gold overall, the 100 Thieves lead right now, which is exactly what you get basically for knocking that turret down. The farm generally equivalent across these squads. Do like 2 Drakes, but neither of them work much in combat unless you can kind of re-engage later. Waiting for the next big play. It's going to be fairly difficult to knock down the mid lane turret as Sivir is finally on her first major item. That wave quick gets easier.
Yeah, main playmakers right now we're keeping our eyes on For 100 Thieves, of course, it's the Rakan Afro move, because they do have teleport ready on Fake God to follow up the Kennen. Rakan Kennen is a great combination. Rakan jumps in first, locks down the targets, and Kennen comes through with the sweeping AoE damage. But on the side of FlyQuest, they're looking for more of those individual picks. Pobelter on Zoe, continually looking for the Sleepy Trouble bubbles, and Viper can capitalize on anyone who does get caught. You've got an instant Abyssal Voyage from Wadid. Yes, the rank 1 is much shorter range now, by the way, so you can't, traverse half the map at rank 1. But you can still make a move very quickly and react faster than your lane counterparts.
And going towards the augment to help out his marksman, getting towards Zeke's, and when he ults, it's going to be a lot of extra damage out of this high attack damage Xayah. The standard build nowadays, Essence Reaver into Infinity Edge. Double big attack damage items. Zeal later on. That'll probably be the build out of Wild Turtle at some point as well, but with the dagger in means he's getting that rapid fire cannon before he gets to IE. QSS will need to come through for Bang at some point as well, and that's what that Null Magic Mantle represents. Both Zoe and Sejuani can do very deadly things to him. Has to respect that, and will have to waylay some of his aggressive items as a result.
FlyQuest is trying to hold this mid tower. Sivir actually missing that AoE is pretty big for the wave clear. That allows Bang a lot of time on this turret.
Down below a quarter, really good shots coming in. Even Aftermo feels safe, of course, with Rakan. You have really good disengage tools and able to walk up and earn a bit of extra gold for this. Putting a couple of wards down, make sure the mid lane can feel safe. It is still 100 Thieves doing most of the aggression. It's through Bang, once again, trying to find turrets, add extra gold to the pockets, and take map control with that. Pobelter just safely wave clearing on the side. Ryu feeling safe enough to push over through the top lane. Has Amazing near him. Has a blue buff steal as well. Feels a bit like Viper versus the World on the FlyQuest side.
Definitely true, but Camille can sometimes get the better of the world.
Yeah. It can be a good champion for it. And does amazing damage to turrets there. And speaking of, he's going to have this Trundle waiting around mid lane.
They're going for the dive.
But now it's Santorin coming by, and damage towards Fake God, but makes him run away, losing some of the farm.
Yeah, not able to land the stun there, connecting. Sejuani now rotating from that top play over towards mid. He's on a ward here. Santorin might get pincered.
Okay, this could be an engage. They're going to find the first stun on towards Rakan. After we're going to find the charm, though. Knock up here as well. Jumps back to the team. Is going to go down to Viper. Getting over the top, though. Do they have the damage? Nice jump by the 80 carry. Bang gets away from Camille. Gets that trade, and that is a kill I will always trade for 100 Thieves. Getting the pickup on a Viper.
Yeah, Aframu going down for the Fed. Camille, very big for 100 Thieves. But FlyQuest have the minion advantage. They push on mid lane. Turtle gets a little bit of damage here. Ryu comes through with the wave clear. Victor with blue buff doing his duty.
Huge by Xayah to ult and immune Viper's ulti in this one as they catch Afro and get the kill.
Yeah, take another look at it. Santorin does start out an Aframu, so they chunk down the Rakan very quickly, and Turtle goes over there. They do get the kill, but Viper going in, as you can tell, it's a little bit of a leapfrog situation.
Yeah.
When Camille jumps up first, then you get to reactively jump up with the Xayah.
Good enough.
And Bang's able to get the better of that one. They take him down. Bang survives with just the heal blown. Viper, meanwhile, did also blow the flash.
Yeah, so look at this. Third turret goes down. 100 Thieves knocks down mid-outer, and it's a 1,400 gold lead, and right away it is into this next objective. Baron on the chopping block, and no one is even close to around. They ping it. Like, hey, it's 20 minutes. Could they go for this one? The answer is yes. Thieves are coming across.
Oh, they've got an inkling. Are they going to get there in time? 4,000 health and counting.
The jungler's far away still. They don't have him anywhere nearby. This is an easy smite for Amazing as long as he's on the rest of the squad. Here comes Sivir ulti. That's going to be claimed. And now what about the second half of that fight? Big damage to the Sivir. A flash away over the wall goes Trundle as well. And under their noses, good pickup there off the reset. 100 Thieves rush down Baron, and it's theirs.
100 Thieves sneak another Baron here. That instant reset is going to be them pushing down mid lane. Yeah, FlyQuest get a constellation prize Cloud Drake for themselves, so maybe a little bit of extra move speed next time to get there quicker, but it's after the fact, and 100 Thieves will be storming down mid lane. They've won back-to-back games, looking to put together a full streak for themselves and get an undefeated weekend in the LCS after what has been such a long drought for 100 Thieves fans.
Fake God on the receiving end of a lot of aggression, but bringing Ryu in seems to have done so much to help the squad. Amazing said he and Ryu did a lot of band-aiding to make this team kind of come together, the shot calling to make it all work, and it has so far. New look 100 Thieves look to be, I think, 3-1 with this roster.
And the biggest individual change, I think, in play has looked like Bang. Bang has been playing really, really well for them, looking for more offensive plays. See if it actually turns into some towers here, though. They're sieging up on bottom first. They still have Ryu mid, and this is a no teleport Victor. So you have to be very worried about the full commitment there. And 100 Thieves playing a little bit safer, transitioning over to that Victor.
Damage was amazing. Half HP onto him. Doesn't have the crazy regen right now. It's a Knight's Vow. It's a lot of buffs put toward Bang. He's got several aggressive supports here. Afro actually stopping on the Glacial, picks up QSS to withstand Sejuani a bit easier later on. And that'll be taken down without much issue. Picking up a bit more. 100 Thieves now 3,000 gold to lead. Most of that during the Baron buff here, with the Baron itself being half of it. It's going to be another reset, but still 80 seconds to work with his buff. They will buy the items and go back for round 2.
Yep, one turret so far. Not the biggest of Baron power plays, but look at all the wards they left behind too. In this bottom side jungle of blue. Completely warded up, setting for the split push. Now there's plenty of time for FlyQuest to clear them out as they sweep into their own jungle and try and take that away. FlyQuest, meanwhile, they're looking for the comeback. They need a little bit more money on Wild Turtle. He's looking to complete an Infinity Edge, maybe. Has one BF sword. But it's such a long ways away.
He's got about 600 gold to go. Basically needs the combined cost and the...
Got a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
Actually.
He's got a dagger kind of chilling, which is a bit unfortunate. It baited me on the build, but regardless, looking at top lane tier 2 with 30 seconds of buff to go. They're going to push back Centaur, and this turret will indeed be there. It's a nice pillar, but not going to force any major cooldowns out. This turtle comes over to the side, and Viper is still splitting in the wings. 2 major items completed. Triforce Ravenous Hydra gets the same turret that 100 Thieves just took down, so at least able to answer pretty well there.
Yeah,
15 seconds left on the buff.
It's always so difficult to split push against the Baron buff team, but FlyQuest don't have a lot of other options, so they do get some money back for themselves. You know, getting that turret is definitely going to buy them a little bit of time.
Yeah, honestly, the Baron power play only being 1,800 is pretty impressive when you get 1,500 just for the Baron. So the fact they only really bled a turret compared to their opponents, that's solid defense, and FlyQuest now on a bit more equal standing. Only 3,000 separates the squads. The comeback can definitely happen.
Definitely true. Keep your eyes on Viper. See if he can find someone by themselves. He's scouting here with no extra deep wards, though. That is so dangerous after an enemy reset. You don't know how many players you're catching. Is it just Fake God? He can't know for sure after the full reset. So he pulls back out. Even though he can 100% win that 1v1, Azonia's on Kennen buys enough time for teammates to arrive, and all of a sudden, you throw it away.
It's a 3-on-1, yeah. So out they go. No harm, no foul. 5 gold for the auto attack. And that was it. That's all that was picked up there as the resets come through. And we look now at the second part of this aggression as they look for the red buff. Nice smite goes into amazing. A pillar comes up. Afro will not find the knock-up. Sivir ulti to disengage.
A little bit created back. Yeah. Bang back onto the turret.
And he feels very safe. QSS is done. A sleeping Afro is going to jump over the wall, and he will not be found by Pobalter. And that turret is down to 30%. So 100 Thieves still feel comfortable, like they can play aggressively. 40 seconds on Cloud Drake should be theirs for the taking. But when it does come up, mid lane tier 2 will fall, stretching the lead even further. Close to 4,000 now. Even Fake God, he's pretty comfortable in the bot lane. He's actually got that wave past the river.
All right. 25 seconds on the Cloud Drake coming up. Might be an answer. Santorin does find some recalls and goes for it.
And it's actually Bang who runs in, tanks it, pops the QSS, and out he goes. Leaves Afro to keep his alive, actually. Lets him keep it up.
Such a big tool there for FlyQuest trying to create a play. All right, they do get the Infinity Edge completed for Turtle. And we'll find out what the dagger comes next.
It'll be a Zeal, Kobe.
Of course it's a Zeal, but what Zeal item?
It'll probably be Rapid Fire Cannon. I think every pro goes Rapid Fire. I would actually build Shiv personally. I think you actually need the wave clear and DPS. But he'll build Rapid Fire, that's my guess. Cloud Drake is theirs indeed. And 15 seconds on the Baron respawn means that's going to be the apple of 100 Thieves' eye. Right now, the top river, though, does belong to FlyQuest. It is complete dark aside from one ward in one brush. That's not very useful. Sorry, Trinket Ward, I just don't think you're that valuable. The Baron is alive, and it's now the game of 100 Thieves reclaiming this river. It begins.
As long as they continue to travel as a pack, the importance of the Camille is so much less. You know, hard engaging with the Camille in a team fight can work. You know, you do have the Sejuani, and Camille can spread them with the ultimate herself. But as we saw in the last one, you get focused down very quickly. Okay. 100 Thieves forcing them to group up. There is a ward in the back of the pit. FlyQuest, no. This is going to be it for sure. Sleepy Trouble Bubble on Bang.
I don't believe they spotted the ward necessarily, so we'll see if a TP does come through, but right now it's still just the 4v5 defense. Viper's committing to pushing down the inhibitor turret, so this now puts the pressure on 100 Thieves, and they're the ones to blink. They lose the game of chicken. They're gonna leave this right now and try to stop their base from falling. FlyQuest picked them apart, and they go for the inhibitor. That one's almost certainly going to drop. Mid lane out are gonna go down as well, and just like that, the game has swung. Momentum moves to FlyQuest, down in gold, but up in structures.
Like FlyQuest sticking to their win conditions here, the Camille, once again, split pushing, and they win the game of chicken. Either burn down the Baron, risk the very risky smite and ensuing team fight, or call it quits. They gave up 2 turrets and an inhibitor just for trying. Nobody can answer the Camille in the 1v1 on the side lane. So it has to be a team force from 100 Thieves.
And often we malign 100 Thieves for not taking action, for rolling over and dying. That changed when Ryu rejoined the roster. They have been an aggressive team, willing to take the play. That's going to be flash force out of amazing, though. But as we saw, it's going to be up to 100 Thieves to actually commit to something before they get split apart by Viper.
And it has to come from Aphromoo. Rakan is the only one with enough speed to make this happen. Rakan and Kennen combination for the engage is how they win the team fight. But if they're unable to get that engage, the split push will take its toll. Bottom side already completely destroyed by Viper.
At least they can send Fake God down there. He deals magic damage, pretty good against super minions. He can sit there and take this farm for a while. 100 Thieves arguably can sort of outscale in that regard because it'll be hard for Viper to claim that gold himself. So it actually, in my mind, kind of playing it through, I think it actually puts the pressure on FlyQuest to do something because Fake God will just earn gold for 5 minutes and he'll eventually get more XP than Viper. Might not win the 1v1, but he will get more powerful.
Putting pressure out, forcing the move. The #1 goal. Rapid fire cannon is the choice. As you said, 100%
Yep.
of pros, maybe 99%.
Some go Phantom Dancer.
Allowing for the extra range on that auto. It's just so big, you know, at chunking people out. Coming through, if you get the crit on your rapid fire cannon auto attack before the team fight, then you pop your Sivir ultimate. That's the go signal.
It's very powerful here. It is lethal tempo. Sivir has plenty of attack speed to follow up with this one. And as the wards go down, FlyQuest are playing around the side of the map. Viper is sitting in the lane he pushed in. He's actually hoping to find his opening against Fake God.
I think FlyQuest are actually feeling more comfortable now because Turtle with a 3-item power spike here, starting up the Baron.
Yep. No Spell Shield Baron autos anymore. That is an old change. While Turtle puts Spell Shield on, forgetting that has been
He's an old player, man. He's been around since the very beginning.
Been around for a very, very long time. I would have made the same mistake at certain points, but regardless, it is 100 Thieves now wave clearing mid. You can see how much Viper had pushed in, actually, was killing minions on the doorstep, then runs right back over. Once again, knocking down the wards. 100 Thieves looking for the play. Still, Kennen is far away inside his own base. Viper's actually coming in. This is the play. It's FlyQuest pulling Viper across. They're going for a 5v4.
Yeah, he's over wards, though.
Ah, that makes it harder.
All right, 100 Thieves with the extra information, pushing up that mid wave. As you said, Fake God just collecting minions with his super minions flooding down through the bottom half. A little bit more money onto Kennen definitely will be nice for them.
2,400 gold separates the top laners, but so far it hasn't been important enough. It's been Viper sieging PvE style, filling out his dailies or something. Regardless, we have the Mountain Drake coming up.
World Quest, no!
Oh!
Don't remind me.
It's a PvP server. Watch out. It's Fake God. Oh, they're not. Okay, he's not tagged for it. All right, never mind. We're fine.
Dragon coming up, though. This is going to be the second Mountain Drake of the game, collapsing. 100 Thieves want to get there first. They've already established vision, and they're the ones with the big 5v5, so they should be able to force it.
Yep. Able to run right down, charge this one through, and it's immediately FlyQuest running up the river. It's going to be a quick answer at 100 Thieves. They have to get there quickly. You can see Fake God. Do I answer bot? No, I've got to get in for this one because they are running for this one. Teleport chosen to be used as well. How fast do FlyQuest kill it? They're even on a ward. Second TP used. Down to 6,000. They might be able to burn it. It's going to be close. Can the Smite come over? Can it over the wall? Smite does go to Santor, but how about the team fight? 5v5, and Zoe's already gone. The second kill goes through to Wadid. Baron for 2 kills, and it's time for aggression. It's time for 100 Thieves to push in 5v3 and go for the base.
Problem for them, super minions will destroy a Nexus turret by themselves, so Fake God has to go back. It's going to be a 4v3 at the turret with Baron buffing up these minions and Sivir wave clear. I don't know if they can even get inside.
Maybe they can dive, though. Rakan does not have ult, but he does at least have W if he finds a way out of Santorin. That pillar could have been it. Not quite, though, but it will be turret damage. Demolish here as well. That is an inhibitor turret gone. Inhibitor itself going to drop as well. Fake God is still in the base. 4v3 siege, but the respawn's in 8 seconds. So after this inhib, out they go. Baron power play is neutralized, but there is still 2.5 minutes of the Baron buff on 3 as the reset comes through.
Wadid is back up on Tahm Kench now. They're trying to chase them down. All right, with Viper going into the forest, it looks like this is going to be the trade. Baron buff with the extra kill money for Inhibitor.
And 3.5 minutes on the Elder Dragon. That'll spawn after Baron goes up.
All right, let's take another look at it. They burnt it down, and it is close, but Amazing's not close enough into the pit to contest the smite. So it is a good smite there from Santorin. No contesting smite, just cannon damage, kind of splash AoE that he has to deal with. His hand is steady, though. They get the Baron buff, and this is critical for a split push team. Yes, they are down mid-inhibitor, but they're the ones with the powerful 1v1 artist, the Camille, up on the top side, wearing the Baron buff, trying to take their toll. Afromu and the rest of 100 Thieves looking for that snap engage.
And last time it was very good. The new Powelter was flashed down, and he flash W'd onto it, and Ryu followed up. There was no way out for her. This time around, she will have flash up. Doesn't wear the Baron buff herself, but enough of the squad does. And I believe, crucially, one of them that wields it is indeed Viper's Camille. So the right champions have this. FlyQuest down 3,000 gold, but they are certainly not out. Expect maybe a turret to be picked up with this, but now look at the play towards Wadid. He is flashed down. Pillar used, though, means no re-engage tools are here. Poke from Pope, not quite going to land. Death cap done for you. That's a pretty big pickup there.
FlyQuest can push 2 waves at once, but one of them has to be mid. So it's either mid and top or mid and bottom, and they just keep transitioning here because the super minions have to be dealt with due to the downed inhibitor in mid, or else they will just leak map pressure.
Still waiting at around 45 seconds on this buff, and right now, FlyQuest actually the ones in the back foot. They're going to take their own jungle instead for gold income. Oh, that is a flash pillar. This time around, the Pope should have his flash. I believe it's just barely available. There it is. Burn, though, runs away. Sivir will give some move speed, and Ryu not going to find the next bit of crowd control, but that, as soon as it came up, right back down.
Are they looking for a re-engage here? FlyQuest are collapsing. Santorin is behind them. Viper coming from their own base. Nobody gets caught. There's no extra vision through the Raptor brush, and it is going to be a reset. This Baron, almost no difference in the game.
1,500 for killing it, and then all that money goes back for the turret going down and the champion kills. This is probably the closest to 0 Baron power play I have ever seen.
All right, it's going to be up to the Elder Dragon power play then.
25 gold.
Minute and 15 seconds left on that one.
Haven't seen that before, but yes, you're right. It's Elder Dragon that's going to matter. And it's a pretty similar power for both these squads, right? 2 on the one side, 3 on the other. And you get essentially a stack for free by killing Elder itself. So 25% difference. And none of these buffs really matter in combat regardless. It's just the burn itself. Wave cleared again in the mid lane. Rapid Fire, of course, done for Bang, has upgraded QSS, and there's Phantom Dancer in for Turtle. So those are my 2 front runners. You got them both now, and a little bit more durable. Has 1 slot to go on that marksman.
Yeah, I mean, they're both 4-item marksmen right now. So Sivir is actually feeling very good about this. FlyQuest have been able to wait it out long enough that Turtles farmed it up. Level 16 himself has the full crit multipliers. Viper.
Big damage, finds his son. Look at that burst! Oh my word, almost kills him, Flash, but cannot find Afromu. So Viper might lose the Guardian Angel and does, and he's alone. 1 versus 3, there is not a way out. He's gonna be almost stunned, tries to run, looks for a bit of damage, nearly takes down Ryu. He makes it look close, but it wasn't in the end. 1 for 0, killing the top laner.
The strongest member of FlyQuest possibly. Now it's all on Turtle and this Sivir to try and defend Elder Dragon. This is such a critical death.
They're gonna find the first stun, up towards Bang, jumps into the air, he's gonna stay alive. And now as the reset comes through, it is a guaranteed 5v4.
Yep, 100 Thieves have fully healed. They have super minions still going down mid lane. FlyQuest trying to defend.
Amazing just walks forward, finds a pillar for a slow, can't quite push Wadid over the wall though. Still it means the chance at going towards Baron. Not gonna land that Paddle Star though. Presses are a little bit too late, and now here comes the attempt. Again, without Viper, this is a difficult team fight to win. Have to deal with the poke though. Sivir and Zoe both can do some pretty good shots from over the walls. Waiting for the play. Good damage onto Amazing. 4,000 health onto this Baron. Centaur not going over. Smite's going to go pretty cleanly over. It's actually Bang who picks it up. Amazing did smite, I do believe. But now look at the re-engage as Afro presses R, looks at the knockup, finds a little bit there, and nice by Wadid. But Centaur can still, with the Object of Affection, will not die just yet. Can they still find Wadid? No, but they're running forward. They find the slow. They put up the gray health. He has to burn the stopwatch, and that might be enough for the kill. They put in the damage. They do get that one right as Viper respawns. It remains the 5v4. Poke is not going to land, and 100 Thieves grab the Elder Dragon, and now Baron is alive.
Yep, here we go, Freak round 2. With the Elder Dragon burn available to them, 100 Thieves just take the Scuttle Crab and they lie in wait. No vision for FlyQuest in that pixel brush. They're circling around and they got him.
Finding the engage towards Viper, does find the shot away, but he's got to be careful as Pobelter is an auto away from dead. They're trying to find him, and Bang does get that kill. It's suddenly a 5v3 on the map. They can go Baron, they can go right up the gut to try to close the game out.
Bang flashes forward to get the kill on FlyQuest mid laner, and that opens up the mid lane. Inhibitor will be taken. Baron will be the next goal on their checklist, and 100 Thieves retake control of the game.
Tom Kent's the only respawn, still 30 seconds on Zoe, so they can get Inhibitor, then go right back forward. As long as they can mark Santorin, there will not be a smite steal, so far the teams have zoned out the opposing junglers. And it was initially a 20-minute Baron rush. Now this time around, Baron 3 goes to 100 Thieves, as they are looking solid now 39 minutes into the game.
Oof, not a lot of options left open to FlyQuest now. No neutral objectives. The only thing would be Viper trying to get a sneaky route to the exposed Inhibitor and taking it while 100 Thieves are moving. But if 100 Thieves get to the base, then they have to be defended. Baron, Buff, and Elder Dragon, they will just run through your defenses. They will win the base race. And the 5-on-5 itself is very difficult to take, but it has to be done.
And 100 Thieves splitting up their roster. They push the mid lane into the base. They're going to have Ryu throw a couple of spells to make sure that this one's going to drop. They can keep mid pressure, but it's really top lane that is being truly attacked. Mostly trying to group up is 100 Thieves, as their team fight is simply better, and they want to play around the Camille as best they can. No isolated members. Poke from Zoe not going to land. They find almost the engage, but again, forced to flash away 3rd time in a row, as it's going to be turret down. The open Inhibitor is certainly going to be theirs. The Elder Dragon buff is gone, but Baron's still on for quite a while, and now it's 2 open lanes with minions flooding in.
100 Thieves closing in on their 3rd win in a row.
Damage on a Pobelter, almost pulls him back. He might burn, he barely stays alive. The re-engage comes in, not gonna find that kill. Santorin eaten up, gonna stay alive. 1 turret is gone. 100 Thieves looking for the play. Onto the backland, stopwatch, beautiful. Viper's gonna go down without anything to his name, and now the Nexus is open. They're gonna find these kills. They're gonna find their win. 3 in a row for 100 Thieves. When do you start believing in this roster? 3 in a row, 3-1 since the swap. Have they found the formula that fixes the issues? Is 100 Thieves back to looking like the team that made finals in their first split? Ryu's back on the roster. 3-1's a good start.
I mean, it is an undefeated week, and Cloud9 was one of the teams that they defeated.
Yeah.
I think there is still a lot of climbing to be done.
Yes.
And get ahead of yourself a little bit.
Oh, of course.
But it's so nice to see the smiles on their faces, life back into this team. 100 Thieves are win streaking.
Yes, they are. Echo Fox and FlyQuest, 2 of those 3 wins picked up. Those are teams out of playoffs right now. They're not having the best splits for themselves, but yeah, the fact that C9 is part of that, they will take a week off as they sit and watch Rift Rivals, and they'll come back in a week 5 LCS in July and hope they can extend that streak from 3 to 5 to beyond. 3-5 is a respectable record. You're only, I think, 2 games out of playoffs at that spot right there, so certainly that gain can be had. A little bit of a smile and away from Aframu. I'm sure he would say hey to his fans who were excited about the 3-0 win streak.
I mean, you have to be excited. They've been lose streaking for so long that this is such an incredible turn of events for this team. People were always, this was the #1 question, debated in LCS for so long because of the drastic change in performance of the team from the debut of 100 Thieves. They had such success, only to be followed up by this fall from grace, and it's so nice to finally see tides reversed for them.
Yeah, it feels like
they put in a lot of hard work.
Totally agree, and it feels like the players are playing back to their level as well, right? You've been mentioning Bang a whole lot. I agree. He's been really solid, despite the fact that he's like been a remaining player across all these games. He has improved. The players around him are doing well also. A good game for them. So for more on that 100 Thieves 3rd straight win, let's send it over to the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Freak. 3 in a row. I mean,
where's my stock?
What a turnaround, right? Yeah, those of you who had bought too soon picked it up in the first couple weeks of play are wishing you had held on to them for the long haul. But yeah, this 100 Thieves squad is really beginning to turn things around. Granted, they're not the prettiest games. They're not without mistakes. But the results are starting to come in after some of those roster shuffles.
Yeah, they are playing the 60-40 game because they know they've got nothing left to lose. They're just like, you know what? The opportunity is here. It's time to fight, which we see them in going for much more creative drafts when you have a doubling down on Victor 2 games in a row, as well as Baron attempts that most of our other teams in the league wouldn't even look at.
Yeah, and I think a big thing, too, is, for FlyQuest, this wasn't a game where we're looking at their draft like, what the hell are you guys doing? This was actually a pretty reasonable draft. You have a strong 4-man core and a Camille to split push later in the game, and you focus a lot of stuff up there. So this was a time where FlyQuest was putting up a good fight, so 100 Thieves actually had to play pretty well to win the game.
More akin to a FlyQuest composition that we would like to see them pilot, and ultimately 100 Thieves responded in kind. I think very telling in an analogy sense would be Fake God's interview just yesterday, in which he stated that he is a lose lane, win game kind of player. And it's telling the story of this team in a very interesting and unique fashion.
Yes.
Fake God, I want to look at you first because you were going against Cloud9 and Licorice in the top lane, and yet you are still smacking people with Aatrox. So tell me about what the game was like for you.
The game was just like I'm losing lane, and then team fights, we win the team fights. So I'm a lose lane, win game player.
That's exactly what happened again here. It was the same thing as FlyQuest puts all their attention to this counter pick in the top lane where, Kennen is a bit of a lane bully, but against all-in is susceptible to ganks, so this is their kind of strategy.
Right.
We're going to slap.
Yes, this B-roll, this is going to look bad for Fake God in an isolated sense.
Right, but it's important to understand how valuable a player with a mindset like that is, where, they really don't care that this is happening to them. Because you trust your team to be doing things on the other side of the map. You know that there's plenty of game left to play even if you lose. You're on a champion that can contribute to team fights with CC. And so the ability to maintain a positive mentality when you're down 1.8K is huge.
Well, I think it helps to keep that positive mentality when you look at your bottom lane is crushing their bottom lane harder than you are getting crushed. So they have more plates down there. They got first brick. They were able to just start rotating sooner. So you're like, okay, I'm feeding the Camille. But at the end of the day, I can always stun her.
Right.
I can always lock her down and make sure that when it comes to Camille versus Xayah, Xayah will have an easier time.
Right. I mean, net positive for the team by a very slim margin. But ultimately, when you're down 1,800 gold, for the team to be garnering those advantages on the other side of the map speaks volumes. And at the end of the day, you say, I'm feeding. I mean, in actuality, Fake God, it wasn't him, right? That is very clearly FlyQuest's attack plan was to go to the top lane, and so they are farming him more so for kills.
The verb you're looking for is winting.
It's absorbing pressure is what I like to call. I'm just really good at absorbing the enemy team's pressure. And to be fair, that is legitimately a useful skill to absorb pressure gracefully. I mean, that was maybe a little more death than you wanted, but what are you going to do when they roam 3 guys up and you're against this kill lane that synergizes really well with the enemy jungler? Like, that's going to happen, and it does fall on the rest of 100 Thieves to make sure it's not happening for free, and they did a good job of that, as well as Fake God doing a good job of staying useful later in the game.
And at the end of the day, you can recognize that there is a distinct difference between Fake God and Someday as players, not only in how they themselves would pilot, that situation, maybe Someday having a little bit more confidence or unwillingness to lose the lane, but at the same time, the way the rest of the team can therefore afford to play based on the mentality of that top.
Spot on with that, because what happens is you have a guy that is okay losing the lane, and your jungler and bottom lane are thinking, well, that gives us the agency to start making plays around here, and you slowly build up the confidence of your bottom lane, which is then going to transition into rotations, better warding, better plays, better decision-making, just so much to the point where now Aframu and Bang are looking pretty good. I mean, they had a good game. Like, they're actually playing well as a unit.
And we don't know exactly what the comms are, but I've been in situations where you hear someone who doesn't like losing say, oh, well, I guess I'll just be useless the rest of the game, but you guys are doing well. And, they're kind of have like this negative mindset around it where it's like, oh, it's fine. Yeah, keep going bot. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Like those two different communications really does influence a game quite heavily, even if it is not tangible to anyone. And I assume Fake God as a young guy is not like, I need to be a pop-off star. He's just like, I'm here to help.
Right. But for whatever reason, the success or the ability to kind of maintain a positive attitude through the early game, at least to me, seems to carry over then into the mid game, where again, 100 Thieves is now showing willingness to take plays that maybe aren't 100% guaranteed, but they're recognizing this is an opportunity on the map, and we're going to push or pressure for it, as opposed to doing nothing, rolling over and dying as we may have in the past.
Yeah, and I think that this is a Baron play that we have from 100 Thieves at the 20-minute mark without a Mountain Dragon, mind you. So this is very uncharacteristic of most teams, and it comes off of vision. They see that Sivir is recalling on a ward. And then, because they have a corridor in the mid lane and in the blue side jungle, they know that if they were to start Baron, the worst case scenario is somebody would have to come through there from base. So they know exactly that they probably have about 20 seconds before somebody even starts acknowledging that this is a play. If that wasn't enough, Sejuani's out there in the dragon pit. She's thinking, free dragon, no one's here, fantastic. A cloud dragon at 20 minutes. Unfortunate that it was completely the wrong play, and 100 Thieves pulls the trigger, commits Fake God the second that the teleport came through, and by the time they lock down that Baron, it's already too late. FlyQuest can't even engage.
Yeah, I mean, just such a confident play made by them. It's also very safe, like we're saying. There's so much information available, and this is one of the problems that FlyQuest seems to be having right now. Despite a relatively good early game that kind of neutralized by 20 minutes, it was anyone's game at that point, and 100 Thieves had the better late game decision making.
At 20 minutes, you need to have vision on Baron, and your jungler just can't go bottom. You have to stick to the middle and top side of the map because that objective is just way too swingy. So I think FlyQuest as a whole really dropped the ball in that play because it would have been a very different game had 100 Thieves had to really fight for that first Baron.
Yeah, considering 100 Thieves' spring split form, it gives us an incredible lens by which to view these recent 3 victories and look at it in a positive light. Similarly, we can do the exact same thing with FlyQuest, which is why it is continually disappointing to see them drop games in the way in which they have so far this summer, because they were a top 4 team in spring.
I don't know about you, but that's why I predicted 100 Thieves. Not because I felt like Thieves were very strong, but because FlyQuest's struggles were so dramatic and so recent that I thought, well, if one's going down, one's going up, I'm going to bank on the one that's working now.
Yeah, and I just feel so bad for the FlyQuest guys. You see their social medias are just like, we know we suck, like we know we're playing terrible, like we're trying to fix it, but it feels like they're kind of just in the dark completely, just trying to find something to latch onto for their team.
I would take the 100 Thieves approach, which is just get off social media altogether and try to reset your mental, because it's very hard to fight that uphill battle.
Something's beginning to work for 100 Thieves as they put 3 wins back to back to back. We have another break, though, and when we come back, we have Team Liquid versus Clutch Gaming, and they challenge one another. We'll see you here for Game 3 after this.